Yo, Moe, what's happening in Jersey?
Hey, Steve, what's happening, man? Second time caller this.
Hey, you fucking guy, how are you? Already?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good.
Hey, Stacey said you want to talk about the Elimination Chamber. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. I actually did a video on YouTube about the chamber. I just never. Here's the thing: the Shield, the match of the night definitely was the Shield and the Wyatts. Those guys can definitely carry on to the future of the WWE, hands down.
Without a doubt, I agree with you 100%. That was a damn good match. All three guys shine like a motherfucker. They all got their shit in. They all got their characters more over. They each had their moment, and it was just a hell of a damn match. I could only nitpick a cunt here or there, but an outstanding effort by all six members. And you were about to say something about Roman Reigns?
Yeah, Roman Reigns, he's definitely – I thought he was going to actually pull it off for a minute. He definitely is the glue to that Shield. If it's not for him, the Shield wouldn't be together, honestly.
Well, you know,
he's definitely got a bright future.
That's interesting that you would say he's the glue of the Shield, because I thought, kind of Dean Ambrose started off as the leader, and kind of Roman Reigns has assumed that role, and then theoretically kind of positioned Seth Rollins has faded back. But now with the animosity between Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins comes to the forefront as the glue for me, holding everybody together and putting in some outstanding work in the Elimination Chamber. And they all did. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of looking at 33 1/3% for all of them right now, and just a cunt here for Roman Reigns, who has kind of just assumed that leadership spot. But certainly all three members of the Shield destined for great runs as singles. Don't bust them up yet, though. And then when you look across the other side of the squared circle at the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt was spectacular in that match, vicious, on time, as was Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. Both turned in outstanding performances and held up their gimmicks and really got in there and shined a lot. So it was a badass effort from everybody in that match, and they all got over and increased their stock value.
Absolutely. And to see, Luke Harper dive through the rope. I've never seen a big man do that in a long time.
He's got some shades of a little bit of manic in him, and then he goes back into that coma state. So he's got some interesting range there, and you got and he's a big guy. And then of course you got Eric Rowan, who's the biggest guy, and he's looking pretty vicious in there. And the focus, Bray Wyatt, clearly the leader. And, the glue in that thing is all Bray Wyatt. But they all three work together. They all understand their roles, and they all kicked ass. What did you think about real quickly while we're talking about it, how about that Elimination Chamber? Who did you like in that as far as maybe the MVP of that thing?
Wow, okay, the MVP. Wow, that's a tough one.
I'm going to go, my MVP would be Antonio Cesaro. Now, obviously, he tapped out in that STF, and that was a snugged-up STF applied by John Cena. And Antonio Cesaro, he had a bust-ass singles match with John Cena a couple of weeks ago, a hell of a damn match. And I thought he really set the tone and pace for this and put in some great work, and I see a very bright future as they need to continue to refine what that gimmick really is, other than a guy who speaks a lot of languages, but physically and what he brings to the ring, peerless. So were you going to say that's going to be your that would have been your MVP as well?
Well, I easily want to say Daniel Bryan, because I was really hoping Daniel was going to win it. But, of course, I kind of thought this was going to happen, that Orton was going to probably hold the title until WrestleMania. They screwed Daniel again. It is what it is, though. They're
going to pay it off, though. I do believe that the situation was right for this. The way Daniel Bryan lost that, they didn't, It was the right thing to do. And as always, Daniel Bryan worked his ass off. All of the guys did. Again, that was another match where all the competitors turned in a hell of a performance. Match of the night goes to the Shield versus Wyatt's, but the Elimination Chamber was, not quite the same level, but not far behind either.
Yeah, it was really suspenseful, yes.
And those things can turn into a complete clusterfuck at any given point. And all the guys held it together. They laid it out good, and they worked it good. And the crowd was digging it.
Absolutely. And I'm just interested to see how WrestleMania is. I'm seeing if Daniel Bryan's going to give revenge on Triple H, or maybe somehow he could get the main event and finally become champion. Okay, how are they going to slip him into that main event spot? Because you got Batista versus Randy Orton. They're going to make that into a triple threat? They could. I don't know if he's going to do it. I mean, that will please the fans, of course, but I don't know.
Okay, so then, if he's going to work with Triple H, does he go over on Triple H and then get the title match at Backlash the following month?
But, yeah, maybe that'll be. He beats Triple H and then gets into the main event.
Well, we'll see what happens there. It's going to be an interesting scenario. We've got several more weeks, and we'll do another podcast as we talked about that final card as it presents itself. But right now, the way they got it lined up, they're going to juggle these three matches that they have set. And the main event will be declared at a later date. But they're putting the positions.
Absolutely.
They're putting the players in position. They're going to listen to the crowd, and then they'll make their decision at a later date, closer to Mania. But, hey, Moe, hey, you fucking guy. Appreciate you calling in, all right? Hey.
Thank you.
Take care, man. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye.